On this episode of Motorhead Garage, this old lift has let us down. Time for an upgrade. This UTV gets some bling, and
you get that lumpity boogity idle.
With Colt cams, we'll have none of that.
What are you doing, man? Thought that was going to stay up.
That's why you have to replace those. It's a safety item. This strut on this thing, there's only one on the hood of this Jeep. This is a 5.7 Hemi Jeep. But look at that. You need to replace those.
Almost cracked me in the head. Hey, welcome to Motorhead Garage, folks. But you can see what we're up to right now. You know, if you got a car that's about 5 or 6 years old, it's got struts on them, and most of them all do now, you need to do something about it. You need to replace them.
Yep, these are nitrogen gas charge over a period of time from temperature changes, use, just overall age. The gas escapes around the O-rings of the piston, and of course then they render themselves useless like that.
Over time, they can rust, cause problems, get stuck. So what we're going to do is we're going to put on these lift supports here from AMS Automotive, and they've got a complete array of, what, over 1,000 different applications for this stuff. So if you got a vehicle that requires a lift support, these guys have you covered.
Right, and they're real high quality, good manufacturer.
All right, I'm going to go to the back and check that out. Hey, Joe, you got the tools?
I do, Dave.
Oh, good deal. Hey, folks, I want you to meet Joe Ashford here. He is co-owner of AMS Automotive, and Joe, you brought some of these nice lift supports, but look what we got here, man. Now, this isn't too bad. This is working all right, but not ready. I think they're close, don't you?
I agree.
All right, now here's what we're going to put on here. These are the lift supports we have for this. So let me go ahead and pop these out. These go on pretty easy. You can do these right there in your own backyard. Are these the right ones? Yeah, these are the right ones. Put these in your own backyard. Now, these have a little Torx bolt that you got to screw in. So, Joe, you want to go ahead and undo that? And I'll hold this up for you. All right, I got it. Now go ahead and take care of that one. There you go. All right. Now these aren't in too bad a shape here, but these new ones are going to make it a lot easier. So let's go ahead and screw that in there, Joe. Now these already come with the bolts already attached, so this is a real easy installation. Okay, Joe, we got these on. Now look the difference. Look what the old struts did. You know, you kind of hold it and they would sag a little bit. Now this makes a big difference. But this isn't the real problem. The real problem is with our window right here. Raise this up. And it won't stay up. We took this old strut off, and Joe, take a look at what we have here. I'm going to let this back down so the folks can see that, but look at this strut here. See how rusty that thing is?
Rusted all the way through, dude.
Yeah, and you can't even move it. Usually you have to push these in. This is all rusted shut. So we had to take this off, and if you'll hold that, I'll go ahead and put on our new one. And that'll go on just right here like so. Put this on. And that'll should pop on. Turn this around a little bit. There we go. Now we got it on. You can see how much better that makes this. Now we're going to go ahead and change this one. And in the meantime, Sam is working up front on the one on the hood.
This is nowhere near as exotic in the front here as what Dave was doing in the back. It's a pop-on unit. If you're working by yourself, put a good support so the hood doesn't hurt you. 2x4 will work. These struts here just pop on and off. They got little clips. I popped the clip off the first one. Take a screwdriver, just pop this little clip off of here. They're usually rusty. And again, they just hold things in place. Then you can, strut will fall right off. And we'll take the new one, we'll put it on. These are the clip too, because now they're nice and new. Pop that on there, lift this up, and you can see how nice this works. When it goes up, it stays up. You close it, and bang. Not going to get hurt. It's a great way to go. It's a good safety item. We got a lot more coming here at Motorhead Garage, but right now we need to take a break, so stay with us.
This edition of Motorhead Garage, presented by ARP, is being brought to you by ARP, the world leader in fastener technology. Original Parts Group, the world's largest source for GMA body parts and accessories. Hurst, America's #1 shifter. And by Steel Rubber, quality crafted rubber parts and weather stripping.
Hey, welcome back to Motorhead Garage. Well, folks, you know, diesel performance is one of the biggest things going, and these Dodge trucks with a Cummins engine, diesel engine in it, they really make great hot rod machines. Now, you always got to remember in performance, an engine is really nothing more than an air pump. How you manage to get the air in and get it out is going to be one of the keys to performance. And one of the ways you do that is with a camshaft, and we got an expert here who can tell us all about it.
Yeah, Dave's right. Putting the right performance cam in is real important. We got Jeff Bartle here from Colt Cams. Now, Jeff, this is a real nice performance cam. You guys build these from scratch, right?
Yeah.
All brand new.
Yep, we call them semi-finished, where the journals are finished, but the lobes are unfinished.
Okay, and so when you grind the cam here, how do you improve it over the factory cam?
What we try to do is optimize the airflow. And, you know, everybody's putting on aftermarket turbos, bigger injectors, and it does improve performance, but if you're not getting that air in there to feed these things,
right,
you're not getting the full potential of what your engine can do.
You got to get the air in and you got to get the air out. Now also, definitely, you know, when you start doing performance work, one of the things that happens is if you don't have an EGT, you need to have one because the exhaust gas temperature starts to go through the roof. By getting the air out, can you actually control that?
Huge, yeah. Getting fresh air in and getting it out. And by doing that too, you're helping spool the turbo quicker.
Absolutely. You spool the turbo quicker, you get a little bit better bottom end, and you can drop your EGTs, what, a couple hundred degrees?
Find that sometimes a minimum. We've even seen higher.
Cool. Now looking at this over a factory cam, I can see the lobes are a lot wider. So you take your lifter or you tap it here that rides on there, and that spreads, of course, the load out. When you put higher tension valve springs, gives you more surface, less wear.
Definitely.
Okay. Now also, you got some kind of a retainer here that I've taken my 12 valve apart, and I didn't have this. What's the deal there?
We find on the P-pump engines, they were notorious for walking the gears off.
Right.
So we made, it's basically a glorified washer with a recess on it. So after the gear's pressed on, this can be bolted on afterwards. And that just guarantees your gear can't walk off.
Keep the timing gear from walking forward. And of course, if that's threaded, you can put a rod in there. It makes a nice cam handle. When you're installing these cams, these lobes are pretty big, and the Cummins, you're right in the block, and you want to make sure when you're putting the cam in that you don't nick it, so that's really pretty good. Now, see, we got, you make a performance tappet too, is that right?
Yeah, we found that some tappets don't come with enough crown on them. And the crown on a lifter is the #1 factor on a Cummins to get them spinning. Right. And if that lifter doesn't spin, you're in trouble.
Yeah, it's going to wear the same place all the time.
Exactly.
What's happening, folks, when these engines are running, every time this comes up on the lobe, this thing, if they have a good crown on them, the tappets rotate, keeps the oil on them, and it keeps them from wearing out. Some of the factory ones will be flat, some even concave.
Yes.
Yeah, so you want to make sure, don't skimp on it. You're going to put a cam in, put a good set of lifters in. Now, this is a inline 6 Cummins cam, this shorter one for V8. Is this a roller cam?
This is a roller cam.
And power stroke?
Power stroke, 6 liter or 6.4.
6.0 and 6.4 power stroke. And of course, you know, when you have a flat tappet cam versus a roller cam, you got some oil concerns. You want to make sure you get enough zinc in your oil for a flat tappet cam, is that right?
Definitely, because now you got a scuffing motion.
Right.
And if you don't get that anti-friction in there, you can cause wear.
Now, is there a good break-in procedure for these cams?
Yeah, a good cam lube on the cam lobes. Another feature is when you parkerize a camshaft, the cam lube has something good to hang on to. Also sort of helps penetrate into the lobe, and it puts a barrier between the lifter and the cam lobe too.
Great. Parkerizing is a metal treatment. That says black stuff here on the cam. Again, makes the oil stick. It really keeps the metal from metal contact, so it'll give your cam a long life. Probably
the biggest compliment I get is it idles better. You know, compared to a gas engine, you usually put a performance cam in, you get that lumpity boogity idle, more emissions. In a diesel, you're trying to get air in there. So the more air you get, the better it is, as long as you don't get into the overlap. Get into overlap, you start to cause turbo lag.
Right.
We've just tried to optimize it for the best flow.
And these Colt cams are bolt in. You don't need any offset keys. They're all dialed in to go right where they belong, and you don't have any piston to valve issues. Put it in, run the engine, and it's going to work great.
One thing I always want to tell people is check your lifters, and you want to make sure you got a nice crown to them. We're not talking inches, we're talking about like 1.5 to 2 thou. And a great way to check it is just grab one of your 2 used lifters and take the barrel. Just hold it up there to the light. And you don't want to see any light in between the middle. You want to just see a slight little roll. Putting a flat lifter in can kill a camshaft.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We got a lot more coming here at Motorhead Garage, so stick around.
Hey, on this week's Industry Update, we're featuring something that, I'll tell you what, Sam, every motorcycle passenger is going to like.
Absolutely.
And that's from Butty. And this is what it is. It's a spare seat that goes right here on your motorcycle.
If you got a chopper and you got no seat on the fender and you want to bring a companion, it'll go right on with suction cups, stick on gloss paint, not going to make any marks, and it really works great. And
you can see the suction cups here. It comes in 3 pieces. All you have to do is put it together like this, push, and there you go. And you can see it's ergonomically designed, got closed cell foam in it, makes it a lot more comfortable. 13.5 inches wide, it's shaped right for your butt. It supports you, gets rid of the pain, got a lifetime warranty. Portable, comes in a pack you can take with you. Also, if you have an existing seat, this one here, this model will strap over the seat, one-time adjustment. It's going to work great. And there's a reason why they call it a 1,000-mile seat, because it can make your passenger ride for a long time on here. Now, if you want a lot more information about this, all you have to do is go to their website.
Motorhead Garage, presented by ARP, coming to you from Borla Commerce Park.
Okay, got that. How you coming up there, bud?
I'm doing okay. Got this about ready.
All right. Hey, welcome back, folks. Look what Sam and I've got right here. We got ourselves a beautiful UTV. This is a Polaris XP4 1000. And you can see this is quite a unit. Oh, these are awesome machines. And this is a 2014 4-passenger. This thing's got a 107 horsepower motor, but new for 2015, they got a new ProStar 1000 engine. It's got 110 horsepower, and it runs on regular fuel. Regular 87 fuel. Right. This horsepower is probably more than you could handle, though, bud. Well, 110 horsepower, but it's got a power curve throughout the entire range. And, of course, these are great machines. They got great design. They got Walker shocks on them. It's got Walker shocks on it, and especially for you, it's got electronic power steering on it. Electronic power steering. So it makes it easy for Sam to drive. And it's got a very impressive 16 inches of travel and 13 inches of travel in suspension. This thing here, you know, it's a machine that people are looking for. Yeah, and some other things we've already added to it here. These GBC tires here, these are DOT approved. These are 30-inch mongrels, going to make it a lot better for us on the road. And we got these DWT wheels, 3-piece wheels, and you can see they got the bead lock around here. This is important when you're off-roading. Right. We've liked to dress these things up. We're never satisfied with what we get directly from the factory. That's right. But the first thing we did was we got rid of this roll cage here that came on the unit from the factory, from Polaris. You can see it's multi-piece design. Yeah, and this works out fine, but we wanted something that will give us a little bit more protection and also stiffen this thing up a little bit. Now the Blingstar cage, this is a really heavy steel. It's 1 3/4. It's got 95 thousandths wall thickness. Right. It's DOM, drawn over mandrel tubing, no seams, all TIG welded. It is, and it's got your whip tabs in here so that you can mount your whips on it, makes it easy to do. And again, this bolts right into the factory bolt holes, so it's an easy installation. But on top of that, it protects the back, and there's a bumper on the rear here that gives you extra protection as well. So this is a well thought out, well engineered piece of equipment. Yeah, Blingstar's even got you covered with an aircraft grade aluminum roof. And of course, it's got a light pocket in the front that'll accept a light bar. So when you put the Blingstar cage on, you got everything you need there. Exactly, and even inside, you even got a dome light in here. This has got everything. Yeah, this is an LED dome light, on and off switch. This is a Baja design, 360 degrees. It's really, really bright. That's pretty neat. You know,
We'll get some more stuff to do to this, though.
Exactly. Well, I think we're going to need a little bit of help on this because
I need some help.
This is a little bit of a job.
Been doing much, yeah.
Anyway, well, we have Brett Greenholz here,
yes, sir,
with Blingstar, and you just brought in a new seat for us.
Brought in a new seat. This is actually the new PRP GT SE seat from PRP. You can see the difference between the stock one, of course, and this one. Yeah, I think you're going to be a little bit more comfortable in this one.
Yeah, this one's going to be a little bit. It's not that comfortable for me, but I can see this one here.
Yeah.
It's a little bit wider.
A little bit wider.
Unfortunately, I'm a little wider. But anyway, this is going to be a lot more comfortable, and I can see what that's like. That's even got vents in here, so if you get water stuff coming in.
Yep, water, right sand. Basically, when you're driving, it builds up. It just falls right out.
What do you think of my mirror installation? I put these Axia convex mirrors. These are pretty nice mirrors. They're glass, guaranteed for life. And I put this billet, 17-inch. It's a panoramic view, no distortion, so you can people coming at you all ways.
All right.
Got to keep you safe.
Listen, we got everything going, but we got a lot more stuff to add on here. But we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to get started, so stick with us.
I heard you say, "Are you going to work?"
Yes.
Oh, yeah?
Well, I got to leave it right here. He's going to help us.
Yeah, I see that.
This week on the Steel Spotlight, we're with an old friend, John Wargo of the Custom Shop, and you always make some amazing and unique cars. I don't even know where to begin on this. I think it's a 62 Corvette.
For starters, I built this for a customer. It was actually in a barn on the second story in pieces, and he was wanting to restore it or customize it. I came up with some ideas for him, and we basically built this car. It's a 5-color color fade from top to bottom, and then it's got a nice pearl on top of it. And then on the inside of the cove and the hood, it's got a real fire paint job, and then I airbrushed on the outside of I beveled it with, so it's silver and then it's 3-dimensionally bevel airbrush, so it looks like it's trim on the edging, but it's actually all painted on. The top's been chopped 3 inches, and now it is a full-time roadster, so there is no roof. We did a raw glass windshield. The A-pillars are custom made, and they have rear view cameras, so there is no side mirror, so there's a little camera on each side so you can see out each side of the car. It's a 598 cubic inch big block with a Vortex supercharger with a blow-through system on Holley's new EFI system that's never been done before. So this is 1,100 horsepower, fuel-injected blow-through motor at that dyno to 1,086 horse.
This car is simply awesome.
This edition of Motorhead Garage, presented by ARP, is being brought to you by Gray Area Technologies, in it for the long run. Escort Radar, laser protection at the speed of light. Blingstar, accessorizing UTVs and ATVs worldwide. And by Power Curve, extreme performance products.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage. You know, Blingstar's got so much stuff for these machines. You can make it custom just the way you want. Now, they also have this nice front bumper that goes on with a couple bolts, gives you plenty of protection, but also is available in a couple models. This has a mount for the Blingstar LED light. Now, this is a 13.5-inch, 72-watt LED. Great place you can aim it, and then you just tighten up the brackets. Of course, it's adjustable. That way, when you get your machine set up, you set it just the way you want. Now, you can also get this bumper with a bracket for a plate for your racers or any place they want to put a license plate in the front. And we talked about the steel skin on top of the Blingstar cage with a pocket for a light. Here we've got a 30-inch light. That's a 160-watt LED, but what's neat about it is the sides are floodlight, so you got good peripheral lighting, and the center, of course, is focused spot, so you get the light cast way out in front of the vehicle, and they got you covered.
We're getting ready to mount the doors now. What I do is take off the old strikers, and on this particular case, we put on a new one here from Blingstar. Now, we use the original hinges on this one, don't we?
Yes, we do. Basically, it's the same stock hinges come on your doors. Take the 4 bolts out, put them on this new cage, and start installing your new ones.
Installation.
Very easy. Okay,
so let me roll this out of the way.
Yep.
Let's bring in the doors.
Definitely.
Okay, now we're getting ready to put in our rear doors. Now, these are all 6061 aluminum, and you can see they come in either white or you can get it, what, a textured black?
Textured black.
But what you see here, we've got our Blingstar graphics on here, which makes it a lot easier. We put those on before we put the doors on.
Oh, yeah.
Now, they just bolt right into the frame down here and right up here into the roll cage. So let's drop this in. That goes on the back side there.
Just like that.
Now, this also has some spacers that you want to put in Here we go. Now we got the bottom one in. Spacer. All right, here we go.
There it is.
There we go.
Yep, just put the nuts on the backside and we start stunging it up.
We're in business. You can see this is going to make things a lot stronger, give you a little bit more protection as well, and plus it looks better too.
When you're bouncing around in these things really having fun, you got these automotive style seat belts with retractors and this push button that it locks into. If you're really going to get serious, you got a big cage like this and you got your machine stiffened up. Here's some nice harnesses from Blingstar. Look at nice padding. There's a real dense foam. It's a multi-point belt, very similar to a race car. Got the big latch on it, the leather to protect you. They got a nice mesh pocket. They got a cell phone pocket. Everything you need. You go out there and you bounce around, these will hold you in place and keep you safe.
All right, now I'm putting on the final piece of graphic here. A lot of times you could put a little bit of water on here, a little soapy water, and line that up. In this case, I'm going to take the shot and try to line it up perfectly. Like this. Now, one thing about it, you got to have it exactly where you want it and exactly right when you put it on, because once you stick it on, it ain't coming off. Let me see if I can get this on here just right. That is coming along almost perfect. Look at this. Son of a gun. And there it is.
Well, I can't believe they trusted you with that.
Voila. Put in the seat, pal.
Pop in these seats, there's nothing to them. They go in and they tuck underneath. And of course you can see we haven't put the seat rails in, the seat belts in yet. They're going to tuck through here for the harness. So we get these things slid up here.
Need a hand there, bud?
No, I got it. And then this should just pop down and lock in just like that.
Wow.
Put our seat belt through here. And we got the door going on over there. So now we've got another front door to put on. The graphics are all done. The rear door, a couple more seats, and we're going to be in great shape.
Okay. Well, bud, I think it's time for to take us a ride, but you know what? We don't have helmets.
Who cares?
I got to trust you on this.
We got belts.
Anyway, folks, you can see how it came out. This is going to be a lot of fun to run in. We'll stop and get some helmets and take it out in the woods and have a ball. We will run out of time. We'll see you again next time here at Motorhead Garage.
So long. Come on, Davey, let's go.